Welcome back to the channel. It's Cal Ford. I want to speak about investing today. Investing and how I'm going to be investing for the long term, short term, why I trade, cryptos and everything. So yeah, let's get into it. This is the intro. Why I'm trading is because I want to use the trading funds to any profits I make to have put into the businesses. So to funnel into the businesses that I want to create. So what to do is have two types of account that I want to create over the long term. And I do want to trade where you've got one account which is long term, 5-10 years. Another account which is more high risk, straight profits, take it out straight into the business. That's the plan. So I am going to have like an investment account sort of thing for myself and for my family. There's going to be an account there. There might be an account within the business as well, but to be honest, I'll explain that later on in the clip. But yeah, I want to get to a level where I'm at 2.5% to 5% a month would be wonderful for me. That's what I want to average across the year. And then I want to be able to approach, if possible, hedge funds, funded accounts. I want over £1 million worth over the next 5 years, if they're still going. A lot of things are happening with them. And I want 6 figures in my account to be trading regular. And then, yeah, I've got a big plan for that. So 100k, over 6 figures, over 100k, where I basically, any profits I make in that quarter, I'll bring it back down to 100k, for example. So if I make 5%, I'll bring it back down to 100k, take out the capital, put that into the business. So it'll be like a little wage, but kept there, making money for me. I've heard of Darwin X, so I'm looking into that as well. I think that's a monthly subscription that how consistent you trade. That's the gist I've got of that. 2 pairs, so 2 pairs in Forex. So I like the look of EU and GU. At the minute, I am going through that, but I also like gold and US 30. I like the look of them with the strategy that I've now got, and yeah, that's what I'm looking at, creating a consistent balance of them 4 pairs, but not the gold or US 30 yet. So yeah, I'm just looking at them. Yeah, so that's just for the trading on the Forex and what I'm looking to do. Yes, with the Forex as well, what I feel like I'm doing now is looking at a bit more of a mature mindset. So before, I was looking at it as if it's going to make me a millionaire overnight. It's gonna do X, Y, Z and things like that. And now I'm looking at investing and trading and really looking at stocks and shares and crypto and things like that. Trading, I'm looking at a more of a longer term picture, because I think the skill set is so good. I think it could end up saving me a few percent in the businesses. So when I don't have to look for investors, I can use my own self. That's why I'm doing it. It's not because I think it's going to make me rich overnight. I'm not bothered about that as such, but I'm more bothered about preserving the percentage of the business. So if I can just trade over 12 months, invest in the business, then I don't have to give away as much equity in the business to get that capital back in. So that's my thought process with the trading, with the crypto and the trading side. Yeah, so let's move on to the crypto. Yes, so the crypto, very exciting, very in the now, let's say. But it's been something that I've been involved in since, yeah, a while back. I've said it in one of my previous videos. Trading crypto, my aim is to trade crypto towards like the back end of this year, because I'll be in a better position in life and things like that. My aim is to trade crypto, a 5-figure account, something like that. That's moderate to me, and it's something that's beneficial for me. It's a high number for the current position I'm in. So I want to trade 5 figures in that account, 5 figures in a trading account that's USDT or SOL or however it works, BTC, and I want to accumulate BTC and Ethereum. That's my target. Just to accumulate as much BTC, as much Ethereum as possible. So I've got some notes here. So my aim is to trade and accumulate as much as I can because I want to hold it for the long term. Not a high allocation of the business, but just some. And my reasoning for that is because I believe with the big people at BlackRock and things like that, they're putting things together to tokenize everything. Now, tokenizing is basically putting things like assets and commodities, I think they're trying as well. So different assets are going to go onto the blockchain. So if you want to research tokenization, yeah, I believe Larry Fink is massive on it. He's just done an interview with it. So yeah, my aim is, and I also believe in it as well. I believe it's much more beneficial for investors. I believe it's much more beneficial for the asset itself. And the way I want to approach it now is, and I believe that this is where the market's going. So yes, this is a bigger risk. This is my risk for the business. This is my thought process for the 10-year plan, for the 5-year plan on what I want to do. Coins that come about that are useful for a business that we're in, that have got big use cases, then I will be holding them as well. So yeah, so it might be like Solana, things like that. So if you're building on the Solana network, then it'll be things like that. The phrase NFTs, non-fungible token. For anyone who doesn't know what that is basically a token of a product or an asset that is on the blockchain. So you've got a piece of art. So I've got a book. So I've got a book there. So the front cover is the art. Yeah. What's inside it is the smart contract. So the front cover is the art. So when people are saying NFTs, Bored Apes and chimps and all this stuff, yeah, that's fine. So that's the artwork. Now, what's underlying in the book? What's underlying in the NFT? That's the key. That's the trigger. That's what you need to focus on. What's the underlying asset within the NFT? So that's why I do think the phrase NFT will change. I think they'll make something else up. But I want to put, over the next 5 years, my properties that I buy within the business, my properties, the logistics business, everything, onto the blockchain, at least a percentage of it. So at least a percentage. I want to put onto the blockchain and then collect rent through the blockchain, cryptos, things like that. I want to do the contracts and title deeds through the blockchain. I want to do investors within the blockchain. So if you're going to invest, everyone invests into the smart contract. Then the smart contract, once complete, will pay out. So yeah, that's what I'm working on now for the next 2 to 3 years. So yes, and I do believe that properties, watches, cars, everything like that. One thing that I will say, instead of looking at NFTs like a scam, look at it at what can be possible. Because if you look at it like, and the authenticity of a watch, of a pair of trainers, of a property scam, of a different type of scam, the blockchain authorizes it to be a person. So just let that sink in when you're next doubting it or anything like that. The next time you buy a piece of clothing and you don't know if it's real, imagine if an NFT were linked to that to prove it was real by the owner. So just something to bear in mind. Same as watches. How do you know that Rolex isn't fake? If you go into Rolex, you know it's not going to be fake. But if you've got an NFT attached to it, how can it be fake? So that's where the blockchain, I believe, will cut out all the animosity towards that, all the or the confusion towards that, which then will drive the value of the ones that are real. So, and I do believe that people like YouTube, Facebook, things like that will bring that in because of AI. I believe that YouTube will bring it in where each piece of content will be put onto the blockchain. This video will be put onto the blockchain, for example, and if it's useful, if people use it, they can then use that video, but it'll be attached to an NFT, and then it'll be used that video in different clips, in different montages, different collaborations, however people want to do it, intros, title videos, music, anything like that. And then what will happen is that every time that blockchain gets paid, every time that smart contract, that NFT gets paid, that video will then turn into an NFT. Every time it gets paid, it will then go back to a distribution portion will go back to the person who created the video. Does that make sense? So yes, that's how I believe it's going to be. So I'd like to have a little slice of that. So I'd like to put my properties on there. I like to put my business on there. And yeah, we're going to go with that. Yes, so this is the stocks and shares section. So stocks and shares, for me, has been a very, very mismatch. So I didn't know where to go with it, how to read stocks and things like that. I'm not really bothered about that. I've been thinking of something to do with the channel. So I've been thinking of any profits that I make in 2025. I'm tempted to put a little small portion into a little dividend portfolio. So like £100 a month, for example, or £500 a month, whatever the channel makes, I might put a portion of that into a dividend portfolio to track, and we'll follow it. And yeah, which one shall I buy? Let's look at the contracts. Let's look at the comments. Which ones can I buy? And then yeah, build it up from that. I think that would be quite cool. So, but what I'm doing now, probably for the rest of my life, because I do believe it's quite good. I've watched a lot. I've listened to a lot of books. Listened to a lot of people, and they always used to say index funds, S&P 500, global index fund, things like that. You hear them all the time. So what I'm doing for myself and the family, so me and my partner's got one that's we're going to be investing in that towards the end of 2024. But my kids have got one. So when my little one is born in May, there'll be one toward, I think you can do it after a month once the birth certificate's arrived. We're going to do another one in June. So Harper's got one in a minute. I'll put a little screenshot of that up. And yeah, it's global index funds, S&P 500 for the long term. And what I want to do is have it where that's investing regular. My aim for the next 2 years is make sure there's £100 a month, every month, consistently for both kids. The grandparents are helping as well, so they're putting in. But my aim is to get that up to within the next 2 years where I can put £500 a month in each, £1,000 both children each, and then any birthday money or anything like that can be added on as the extra to stop the limitations that account can hold, because it can only hold 9,000 a year. Stocks and shares junior ISA can only hold 9,000 a year. So I want that gap. So if she gets birthday money, if they both get birthday money, if they make some money over the next 18 years, they could put it into that, which will then round up for them. Yeah, so that's the key. And any surplus cash that the business makes will be going into a business stocks and shares holding on the balance sheet. So it will be held on the balance sheet in index funds or treasury bonds, things like that. And yeah, I'll be running a video on that particular when we get, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an actual expert in this field to come on. I'm going to speak to a few people, get an expert in this field to come onto the channel and speak about that, on how we can help people get educated in that space. Because I do believe, if you'd run the numbers on it, I do believe it's quite big. So yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So yeah. So properties. So investing in properties for me. So I've been in property the longest. Like the longest I've done something has been around properties. I've been around properties my whole life with my family. They've been in construction industry for, my granddad's been in it for over 50 years. There's not many people in my family that haven't been in construction. So yeah, but there's a couple of things in properties that I don't like. So what I want to do is, my aim is to invest in properties for the long term. So invest in properties. I have a property portfolio that's cycling through different motions, 4 different aspects. So we're going to have properties for HMOs. We're going to help the community with different homeless shelters and things like that. Commercial properties. We're going to have buy-to-lets in good areas, good capital appreciation areas. And the portfolio criteria is going to be very strict for all of it. And yes, the percentage split that I'm going to invest is going to be heavily invested into these properties consistently every year, every quarter, with investors. And we're going to gather up a full collective, a full fund of different properties that we can have. Yes. And there's going to be a USP on that fund, which I'll speak about in the next video on the business side. So yeah, so there we have it. That's the business portfolio. That's the investing side. What I want to do is use this channel to build up the knowledge for people. So build up the knowledge. It took me a long time to understand half of this stuff, but I'm starting getting used to it. So now what I want to say is work on the 2 skills of making money and keeping money. So let's make it, let's keep it. See ya. So, start of the video. I just want to speak about, obviously, this is week in a life as well as what I'm doing now with this video. So, with this video, I want to just quickly talk about the prior week, what happened. So, basically, I traded, and I was trading the same. So, I was trading the same, fantastic. My mindset is still as focused as ever. And then I took a couple of trades. I fiddled about, I don't know why I did it, but I fiddled about with the percentages. So I did a 1% trade, then a 0.5% trade. And 2 things happened. I basically second-guessed myself massively. No matter what percentage I put on, second-guessed myself. And I didn't let my winners win. So I went back to the drawing board. I reflected that night. I think it was the Tuesday. I reflected that night. And I thought, yeah, I'm doing this wrong. So what I need to do is I'll show you the screenshots, and I'll show you a couple of screen recordings before I go into the video, into the investment strategy, because I said I'll keep you up to date with my challenges. So I'm currently 5% down on the account, but I'm absolutely fine with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm now pushing for building the data on the pattern. So the entry strategy, the exit, the type of trade, the risk to reward, how it plays out. If I see it, if I'm in the motion, if I take it, I'm doing all of it. So I'm now focusing on data collecting on small accounts. I believe that's the best move for me. So now I've got the van, now I've got everything moving, now I've got cash flow coming in. I'm going to solely focus on data collecting to stop this second guessing. Because what I realised is, no matter if I look at a trade and it's got the most incredible setup, there will always be something to stop it. So there will always be a fair value gap above. There will always be a fair value gap below. There will be a liquidity to take above. There might be a bit of news come out. There's nothing that I can do with that. So I need to make sure that the data that I collect, right, it's like a footballer taking a free kick. That there's always changes in the wind, there's changes in the ball, there's different weathers and things like that. There's different bits on the pitch, different mud on the boots, etc. But if they just keep repetitively hitting the ball in a certain way, you're just going to get into that motion of hitting and consistently doing it all the time. Boom, boom, boom. So that's why I'm going to do the data collecting for the whole strategy on fair value gaps, different point of interest, different liquidity taking, where the liquidity is taken, screenshots, put it on Notion. I'm doing that very, very, very intense now. And I will go into more detail because I believe that'd be more beneficial than showing payouts, showing things like that. So getting people into the rhythm of how to handle the mindset of becoming a trader and the psychology you need, I think will be more beneficial than showing a payout, which I'm going to do. I'm going to show payouts just to show proof and let's win together. But I hope that people are watching this and you're going to watch and not go, this is easy, this is whatever. It might be easier for you than what it is for me. I'm just documenting my journey. So you trading might be better to do it a different way. I'm just showing you how I'm scheduling and how I'm trading now to understand and see the pattern regular. See the pattern, take the pattern. What will be, accept the loss, move on. Stick to the trading plan, accept the loss, move on. What I've realized in trading, especially last week, you will never, ever go in a trade and it be 100% probability that's going to work because you would put everything on it. So there will always be, like I've said, fair value gap. There'll always be something in the trading that's going to stop you from being 100% certain. So take the probabilities. I'm doing it in splits of 10 trades. So collect the probability. Right, okay. What do I need from that? What do I need from that? So yeah, that's just a short intro into how my week's going. I'll show you my trading as it's going now. So I'm currently 5% down. I'll show you a screenshot of that. And then yeah, from moving on forward, I'll be showing a trade or 2 or 3 trades that I've taken in that week, and what I've learned, the mindset I've learned to approach it, how I approached it, winners and losses throughout that week. Yeah, and then we're cooking on gas.